Hey, this is C&D Channel. I'm Chris. This is MMA for you. I'm going to be doing my post-fight analysis for UFC Fight Night 47. As far as the card goes, the main card was good until the main event. Prelims were not very good. I mean, just like aesthetically. My picks were terrible. Oh, man. Definitely some of the worst picks I've done in a while. 3 out of 10. The only ones I got right were McMahon versus Murphy, Alan Jabon versus Seth Baczynski, and Pearson versus Maynard. Really disappointed, almost embarrassed that I didn't pick a lot of these right, to be honest with you. I knew it was a hard card to pick overall. I didn't think I'd do this bad. You know, when I saw the first two fights, when I saw like Tickman lose to Frankie Sainz, or jeez, I forgot how to pronounce it. I'm like, oh, okay, Sam Alvey's gonna fight Watson. Okay, I'm kind of confident in Alvey. Alvey loses, and I'm like, oh god, you know, oh man, you know, this isn't looking good already. McMahon wins. When I heard split decision though, I was like, oh my god, okay, McMahon won, good. And then I'm thinking like, okay, Makovsky fights Formiga next. Okay, this was one of my locks. You know, okay, Makovsky should beat Formiga. Nope, Formiga beats Makovsky. I'm just like, oh my, you know, I'm watching this event and I'm just like, this isn't gonna be good. Like, then Tavares beat Peralta, which I thought was a really good. Which I thought Peralta would do a lot better against Tavares, to be honest with you. I was semi-confident in that one. Nope. And then Sean Jordan beat Jack May. And I was like, oh my... I was like actually pretty frustrated by that point. Javon beat Baczynski, which is kind of cool. Which, you know, I was like, yes, okay. Next fight was Tavares versus Bosch, and I was like, okay, Tavares should get this one, you know. And the first round looks good. And then Tim Bosch comes in the second round, knocks him out. I'm like, oh my, come on, you know. Then Pearson beat Maynard, which was good. And then OSP did not look good. I actually watched my dog during OSP versus Bader, because like it started getting sloppy, especially from OSP, who I actually picked to win. Who didn't win, that I was like, okay, Bader's gonna win unless OSP gets like a straight left or something like that, you know. And then Bader won, and the whole night I was just embarrassed, frustrated with my picks, you know. Yeah, so not a good look on my part. I definitely got to gotta analyze more, I suppose. It just, you know, some of them were just not smart picks in hindsight too, and I'll get to that. Like Jordan versus May, what was a really good example of that. I'm just like, in hindsight, it's like, man, why did I pick Jack May? You know, for example, even like Bader OSP, you know, the second round was actually pretty good for OSP, and then after that, it was like, oh, you know, and then there's just Bader with the wrestling, and I was like, oh, man. Well, let's get right to it. Ryan Bader defeated Owen St. Preux by unanimous decision. Okay, so this fight really shows just how green OSP is. I mean, besides a straight left and some good kicks, his striking, his boxing is really bad. I mean, it is just, he just has these looping, he runs at guys, loops his punches, you know, really bad too. I mean, I've seen it before, but it seemed like there was worse here. This is kind of an example of like, you know, I should have seen this. I've seen this from OSP. He always comes off like he has a world of potential, but he always just comes off really green. And there's no exception here. He couldn't really defend takedowns against the cage very well. He sprawled well. He got off his back, you know, when he was taken down as well as he could. but even got Bader down in the 5th round. That was kind of neat. But otherwise, the guy is so green, and you know, at least with Bader, he's at least more polished, and he can utilize his wrestling to win it, which he did. He still couldn't really get a striking going against St. Peru, especially getting around the reach and like the left hand. But he managed to wrestle him early and often, get some ground and pound, get the ride position. Kind of like, it's one of those Bader victories where, like, if Bader doesn't win emphatically, he wins in a very grinding sort of way. That's the thing. I said that this fight is, if you're going to pick Bader, it's because you don't think that OSP is a top 10 guy, or like a next level guy. He was number 10, but like a next level guy. I thought that OSP would be able to get the win here. Really, in hindsight, though, it's like, man, that was not a smart pick. I tend to underestimate Bader a lot of times. I mean, I gotta be like, okay, there's certain guys he's not gonna beat. Like, probably not gonna be like Anthony Rumble Johnson. Maybe not Gustafson. Who else is up there? Daniel Cormier, John Jones. You know, if he fights those guys, no. Everyone else, because like they're aging or something. Like, even if he fights like Shogun, he's just so aging and his takedown defense is bad. Even like Dan Henderson, you know, just a lot of these aging guys, I think Bader will beat them. But like, and then anyone below that too, you know, it's Phil Davis would be kind of like the iffy guy where it's like, I don't really know who'd win between Phil Davis and Ryan Bader. And then of course he lost to Glover Teixeira, so that's, never see a Ryan Bader fight from now on, unless he's fighting Jones, Teixeira, Gustafson, Johnson, Cormier. Dude, I'm always gonna pick Ryan Bader from now on. He's that guy, you know. He's like that gatekeeper for like those guys, in my opinion. I think Anthony Johnson really is that good to defend takedowns and beat Bader up on his feet. Same with Gustafson, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's the thing. From now on, just anyone else though, I'm gonna pick Bader to win. With that said, I think Bader should get some of those top guys just because there's like no one else for him to fight, you know? I mean, it's like Anthony Johnson's available, so's Gustafson, but Gustafson don't want to fight. Maybe if Phil Davis beats Glover Teixeira, you do Davis versus Bader or something like that. Otherwise, yeah, it's hard to say who Bader should get. Maybe you can go with the winner of Latifi versus Jan Blachowicz. But otherwise, I'd probably pick Bader and not fight. Otherwise, yeah, it's hard to say who Bader gets because he's like, it's weird to see this guy fight like John Jones. I don't think he'd beat John Jones. You know what I mean? OSP, maybe the lose of Latifi versus Blachowicz would be good. Fight Little Nog if Little Nog still wants to fight. Jimmy Manuwa versus OSP would be pretty cool as well. So there's still good fights for OSP. The other thing with OSP is I don't know if he's ever going to get better or not. I think he really needs to go to a better camp. I mean, he needed to go to a better camp back in Strikeforce. No less now. I think it's like Knoxville MMA. And no offense to them, it's just, you know, I just don't see the fact that OSP has such glaring holes that are just like fundamental errors. Makes me think he should just go to a camp that'll fix those fundamental errors, to be honest with you. The guy shouldn't be punching like the way he does and like running at guys and punching the way he does. It just, for this level, he's kind of getting by on athleticism and getting good at pieces of the puzzle, but not getting like the whole puzzle. You know what I mean? Next fight after that, Ross Pearson defeated Gray Maynard by TKO in the second round. You know, Maynard might want to consider retirement, man. I mean, it's just, dude, the guy gets knocked, TKO'd. You know, it's kind of funny. He had an interview on MMA Junkie, and he's all like, oh, yeah, you know, I keep getting dropped, I keep getting clipped, but I get back up, you know, I never go out cold. And then it's like, really, guy? You're hanging your hat on that? Of all things to hang your hat on, it's, oh, I'm getting dropped, but I'm not going out cold. Come on. That's, you know what, it might actually be worse that he's taking these sustained beatings. Like Nate Diaz was beating him up. He was just all over the cage. TJ Grant, man, I mean, that guy just, like, seriously, he's just wobbling around the cage. That might be worse than getting knocked out cold, to be perfectly honest with you. He might want to think about retirement. He's in his mid-30s now. His chin is, it's not just his chin. Actually, I believe Conor Rubish on Bloody Elbow has an article about what happened to Maynard. And the story is pretty much, when the guy gets hit, his confidence just collapses. I mean, the guy, he gets hit once clean, and it's just like turtle. I mean, he just turtles up, and he's just done. He has no confidence. It started with the Frankie Edgar fights, pretty much. But yeah, you know, if he can't bully a guy, and if he gets hit, he's in survival mode. It's nice to see Maynard actually utilizing wrestling. Pearson was really good at getting his back to his feet when taken down. You know, Pearson landed the right hand that started it off. You know, got a flurry and finished him off. You know, if Maynard's still around, just more lower to mid-tier guys of the division. Pearson, solid talent. You know, definitely a, like, the thing with Pearson though is he's improving. He actually has, like, he used to be something of, like, I guess what you'd call pillow-fisted. You know what I mean? That's the term. Where it's just, he can, you know, he's a good boxer, but he can't seem to drop guys and whatnot. But he turned a corner around, and now he, like, and then most of his previous fights, he's dropped his opponent at least once. So he's showing some power. This is really good. He has good takedown defense, good ability to get back to his feet. I don't see that top 10 level skill set in him though. I see more of a top 11 to 15 skill set in Pearson. With that said, geez, it's hard to say who he gets next, but other guys around that level, maybe like I know Masvidal fights Kraus. The winner of that fight actually wouldn't be too bad. The winner of Kraus versus Masvidal versus Pearson. Geez, who else is mid-level? Something like the higher mid-level. It's kind of like that, like Bobby Green was. If you want to get the able to heal fight, actually, that wouldn't be too bad. Also, versus Pearson. So yeah, you can go with that. With Maynard though, man, I hope that guy retires. If not, jeez, I don't know who you get. Just some lower to mid-tier guy, I guess. You know, some guy coming off losses. I can't really say. Yeah. Next fight after that, Tim Boas defeated Brad Tavares by TKO in the second round. It's a comeback victory for Boas. He lost the first round. He was getting kneed against the cage from Tavares. You know, Boas is known for these come from behind victories. The Yushin Okami victory comes to mind. He's gonna keep his place around the top 11 to 15 because of this win. You know, it's tough to say with Boas. He's a strong guy, but I think even in his wins against Okami, it's not that he's the most skilled guy. He's one of the tougher guys. I think that's it with him. He really is a guy that gets by on toughness, you know? guys can out wrestle him. You know, CB Dalloway is able to. A lot of guys can out wrestle him, actually. A lot of guys can out strike him. You know, he's not poor in any particular area of MMA. It's just that he's not great either. He's not particularly quick. He's really strong though. This was a pretty bad loss for Tavares, and he's now on a 2-fight losing streak. He's still young, but you know, he's got to turn a corner too. You know, he's a guy that many people actually consider pillow-fisted. You know, he'll strike, but he can't seem to drop his opponent or wobble them. He's also a guy that'll like win the first 2 rounds and then like lose the 3rd round. Doesn't always have that sense of urgency. And he's really going to turn the corner as far as that goes, you know. I can understand wearing a guy down and whatnot, but sometimes, you know, gotta maybe go for the finish or something like that. I don't think they drop. I don't think they'll cut Brad Tavares. He's a good fighter. He's still young. This was definitely not a loss that he needed. You know, losing to Yoel Romero, it was fine. Everyone's like, okay, yeah, that guy's just a monster athlete. You know, got taken down by him. Cool, a lot of times. You know, respectable loss. This one though, he needed to right the ship, and he didn't. He wasn't able to. I guess Tavares should just get more lower to mid tier, just more like mid-level guys. You know, the Luke Barnett just lost. Maybe Luke Barnett, Brad Tavares. You know, someone around that level. I think that'd be a pretty fun fight. I liked what I saw from Tavares in the first round. He even out-clinched Tim Boesch, whose strength is mainly in the clinch. With Boesch, geez, I don't know what you do with him, you know? I don't think he should really fight the top 10 guys. He's just not there, but maybe some mid-level guys. I know Sean Strickland, you know, if you want to use him as a gatekeeper, Sean Strickland just came out that win over Barnett. So Boesch versus Strickland, or Boesch versus Uriah Hall, or something like that. If you want to test him against some up-and-comers, I think that'd be a better role for Tim Boesch at this time. You know, just be something of a gatekeeper from here on out. Next fight after that, Alan Jabon defeated Seth Baczynski by knockout in the first round. You know, man, I was kind of scared here for Jabon because he got dropped momentarily. I believe Melanson actually finished Baczynski with a short with the left hand, and if I'm not mistaken, Jabon also dropped Baczynski with the left hand as well. Baczynski, you know, I said in the predictions, guy's definitely a win by the sword, die by the sword type of guy, you know, and there's no exception. You know, he was in the fight. He got, you know, he got knocked out, you know. Javon's a good striker, you know. I think he got taken down. I think he got back to his feet when he was taken down. So that was a good sign. You know, he's a brown belt under Eddie Bravo. I've always liked his striking. When I saw him in like RFA and stuff, I always thought he was a pretty potent striker, good knees. He uses a lot of left kick, left punches with his left and whatnot. Just more lower to mid-tier guys at the division for him. With Baczynski, I mean, just more lower to mid-tier guys. You know, if you want to give him some UFC newcomers, other guys coming off losses. Yeah, you know, there's no specific opponent for him. Just yeah, just more mid-level guys. Actually, for Jabon, I think the winner of I know Ben Saunders is fighting Chris Heatherly. I would like to see Saunders versus Jabon. That would be pretty cool, actually, if Saunders wins. So yeah, I'd go with that fight. Next fight after that, Sean Jordan defeated Jack May by TKO in the 3rd round. So this was one of the fights where I look in hindsight and I'm like, oh, why did I pick Jack May? You know? because I remember, I was reading some predictions about the fights and whatnot, and they're saying, oh yeah, Sean Jordan, better clinch fighter, better wrestler. He should be able to take Jack May down. If Jack May wins, he'll be in the first round. First, second round, Did not heed that advice. I really should have heeded such advice because, he lost by ground. He got mounted a couple times, actually. The ground just isn't May's game, And he is susceptible to that ground and pound. Derek Lewis beat him by ground and pound. Now Sean Jordan. Jack May almost won in the second round with this one flurry. I was hopeful that he'd win. I was just like, when I saw it, I was like, come on, please, my picks are sucking so bad. Didn't happen. Jordan won, and I'm just like, oh my god, picks are utter crap right now. Some guys made mention of this too, but there's kind of a weight issue with Sean Jordan too. It makes me question the seriousness that he's taken in MMA. He weighed in at like 250 before, now he weighed at like 260 now, And they kind of noticed that he's a bit more portly than normal. Otherwise, 2-fight losing streak for Jack May, but it's a thin division in heavyweight. He could just get some more lower tier guys, just any guy coming off a loss, or that's gonna be coming off a loss, I guess. Jordan kept his job pretty much. He's still a guy that gets cracked pretty often. I mean, in a lot of his fights, he's a guy that gets hit clean, even gets wobbled, or even gets knocked out, So with him, just more lower to mid-tier guys of the division, I suppose. I can't really specify a certain guy. I can't really call him a prospect anymore either, I just don't see the skills there anymore, Jordan. I was pretty high on him when he first came in. Got a couple wins. He was looking pretty good, but these days, he is what he is, Heavy-handed guy. Not always the best chin. Well, more like not the best defense. Well-rounded enough, but yeah, that's all I can really say about Sean Jordan. Next round, that Telga Tavares defeated Robbie Peralta by rear naked choke in the first round. Man, dude, this one surprised me. I mean, honestly, I've seen Robbie Peralta, he's shown some solid takedown defense. I didn't think he'd get taken down, that early, I thought he'd be able to catch Tavares' chin, He's a heavy-handed guy. Tavares has been knocked out a couple times, But Tavares plays that game really well. He gets a guy against a cage, really forces a takedown. He usually tries for a trip takedown. If he can get it, he can do really well. He usually passes to mount or gets the back really well. He's able to stay in dominant positions. It's just a matter of Tavares being able to get there, really. And that's the thing, I don't really know what's going to happen to him at featherweight. It's tough to say. This is a good start, though. He was definitely floundering in lightweight. He'll win some, lose some. I think he's still, 29, 30, something like that. He's still can make a run, you know what I mean? He's solid enough. Got some liabilities in the stand-up, but his ground game's really good. But yeah, I can't really say who should fight next. I think just more like mid-level guys of the division, to be honest with you. Who's mid-level in featherweights? Everyone I can think of is kind of good, It's hard to say who's a true mid-level guy that isn't a prospect. I know I'm probably missing someone, I think like Max Holloway's gonna fight someone pretty good too, and I forgot who it was. Maybe it's a winner of that fight or something like that. It's hard for me to say. But Peralta though, man, I used to think of him as something of a dark horse prospect of the division. Now, kind of like fun brawler. It's you can't really call him a prospect anymore. It's kind of sad. He's just not improving the way he probably should. I think he does. I think part of the thing with Peralta too is he has a full-time job as well. So, you can't reach the top, unless there's some other circumstances. I know like Shane Carwin managed to reach pretty high up there despite being like an engineer. But for the most part, it's really hard to reach the top if you have a full-time job and you're doing this on the side too. With Peralta, just more lower to mid-tier guys of the division. On to the prelims. UCA Formiga De Silva defeated Zach Makovsky by unanimous decision. Man, I thought this was a lock, and from the betting lines that they were showing on the card, because they showed the betting lines, most people thought Makovsky was a lock as well. I mean, if the third round was any indication, that's what Makovsky tried to get the takedown, I believe, in the second, and he got it. He has this really nice snatch single leg takedown. It's really nice, one of the best I've seen. He actually managed to hit it on Formiga, and Formiga got back to his feet. The story of the fight, though, was the back takes from Formiga. His stand-up's improving as well. When you actually look at Formiga and his losses, as to like Dodson, Benavidez, and I think McCall, he only lost to the very top guys, and then he beat like Carriazo and then Makovsky, so that's really good. Definitely a guy that could actually get a shot. See how thin flyweight is. Formiga's a guy that could get a shot at Demetrius Johnson. Definitely has those Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills to keep a guy honest, and back-taking skills that are definitely very high level. Formiga, maybe he should probably get like top guys like John Lineker or Dustin Ortiz next. Maybe with Makovsky, maybe the loser of Scoggins versus Moraga, loser of Horiguchi versus De Los Reyes, or maybe like Brad Pickett next. It kind of sucks because I was pretty high on Makovsky. I thought that he would, win this fight and fight the winner of Johnson versus Carriazo, to be honest with you. Or at least get a title shot in the near future. But the liabilities with Makovsky would be that he loses to jiu-jitsu guys. Dantas, Formiga. Well, he did lose to Leon, to guys that can generally out-gravel him, out-scramble him. He's not a potent finisher, and that's always going to work against Makovsky. It's not that he's bad ever. I'd actually say he gets above average marks in pretty much all aspects of MMA too. It's just, I don't know. He just can't seem to. There's a certain level of guy that he just can't seem to beat. I don't know. It's kind of surprising knowing his skill set. I can't really point my finger to it as well. Next fight after that, Sarah McMahon. Sarah McMahon defeated Lauren Murphy by split decision. So a lot of people are saying in round one Murphy was doing more from the bottom than McMahon was doing from the top. That's why you'd probably want to give her the first round. I don't actually agree with that, because McMahon took her down. Yeah, when it was in the last minute, McMahon was actually throwing decent ground and pound on Murphy. That was the thing. You know, if it was just pure lay and pray, which a lot of it was, you know, I can see the argument for Murphy, but otherwise, I don't think it should have gone to split. I thought it should have been unanimous 29-28 McMahon. With that said, man, you know, McMahon needs to do a lot more to convince MMA fans that she deserves a rematch against Ronda Rousey. I have seen her lay and pray to victory before. It's not something that she should be doing. She's, in my opinion, better than that. And that's why it's actually more disappointing than anything else to see her go for more grinding top control than anything else. That's the thing. She's really strong. She looks like she'd have good posture. If she was in the top and full guard or half guard, I think she can rain down some pretty strong ground and pound. You know? Instead, she opts to stay in close, kind of keep top control, and grind away. You know? If an opening is there to pass, she'll take it, but she doesn't seem very she doesn't seem aggressive or active to take to pass guard. She needs to do more to really convince people that, hey, you know, she got a rematch against Ronda Rousey. You know, in my opinion. So no one's gonna watch this fight and say, oh man, McMahon should fight Rousey next. You know, I want to see that rematch. This is the type of performance that, you know, it's an anecdotal evidence, but it's just like, man, I don't want to see McMahon fight Rousey next or anytime soon. And that's not good. As far as McMahon goes, she's got the winner of Miesha Tate versus Ren Nakai next, or Sarah Kaufman. Murphy, probably like a Jessica Evil Eye, or the loser of Baszler versus Gohea next. You know, Murphy's tough. That's kind of the only thing I can really give her, though. She's not the most technical, but she's tough. You know, that's really all I can say about her. Next fight, I thought Tom Watson defeated Sam Alvey by unanimous decision. It's really the leg kicks in the first 2 rounds that saved Tom Watson's job, pretty much. In the 3rd round, Sam Alvey got that really nice flurry and was winning the 3rd round pretty handily. But man, did Sam Alvey look bad. I don't know what the guy was waiting for. In the first 2 rounds, I was just like, he blitz every once in a while, but it's like, dude, what are you waiting for, you know? He's waiting for this like perfect opportunity to strike or something. Didn't work out. Lost the decision in a fight I thought he could have won, to be perfectly honest with you. If that 3rd round was any indication. Tom Watson saves his job. He should just fight more strikers. Alvey didn't look great. It's more lower to mid-tier guys in the division. And finally, Frankie, is it Sains? I'll say Sains. Defeated Nolan Tickman by unanimous decision. Jeez. This was not a good pick for me. You know, the idea here was that Tickman trains at King's. He had a hiatus for 2 years, but for some guys, that hiatus can make a fighter better. And here, he just looked green. His cardio didn't look very good. You know, and he couldn't handle the pressure. You know, he just kind of looked kind of a deer in the headlights type of deal, I guess. He couldn't handle the pressure of Sains or his wrestling. You know, I know Tickman's gonna cut down to 125 in his next fight, and I hope he does better. You know, didn't look that great here. Sains, pressure and wrestling, good combination. You know, what can I say? He's not. I think he's on his 30s too. I can't really say he's much of a prospect at this point. But you know, he can be like that tough out for any fighter at bantamweight. So that's it for my post-fight analysis for UFC Fight Night 47. If you have any comments, just leave them below. And that's it for MMA for you. Thank you guys very much.